So nice to speak to you. You are the singer from the band Maison Hill, new band. It was for your first album, who just came
Yes.
very soon. First, my first question will be about you. You have the opportunity to do a show. It was last year. It was the Friday, 7 February last year with the Brickyard. There is a what remembering do you have of this show? And was it your last show with people in front of you?
Yes. Yes, it was. You're correct. It was about maybe 3 weeks before the lockdown hit, March 2020. So it probably was February. And yeah, it was. We didn't appreciate it the way we should have. I mean, obviously the show was amazing, and the people were great. It was an awesome experience, like a show should be. But we didn't appreciate the fact that that would be our last show with people for,
Uh-huh.
possibly like well over a year anyway. So it's strange looking back on it and thinking that we didn't appreciate it. We had a great time, but we were recording the album at the same time, so we were, had a lot going on. So we done the show and then we just went straight back home to go and record. So it's a strange one.
Yes. So finally, you didn't play since one year on stage. I mean,
Sorry.
finally you didn't play on stage with people in front of you since 1 year.
Yes, probably about a year today or this week. Yeah, that's crazy when you think about that. We done one show to an empty venue, and that was filmed.
Do,
That
do
was
you
strange.
do you finally how could you describe finally the band on stage for I think you play one time in France. It was not in Paris, but you play in France. Uh,
Yes.
but how could you describe finally this band, this new band, Maison Hill, on stage?
I would describe us as like five kind of passionate, normal people. None of us have came from like extreme money or anything. We're just kind of five guys from Scotland that just met randomly, and we just kind of have fun on stage, and we're very passionate about what we do. And I feel like that shows. I feel like if you come, you will see a wide range of emotion. We have the bass player Matthew who jumps around crazy. We have James, the moody guitar player who just gets right into his solos. It's a real kind of good kind of home-like balance. I feel like that shows, especially our fans are very, very, very nice as well. It's a nice atmosphere.
It was so you are it was your first album. You tell me you just write after finally the last show you did last year, February. How was the writing of the songs? There are 12 songs on this album, just 11 and rebound twice.
Yeah.
But was it? Do you write a lot of songs, and you choose between all the songs, or do you have only 12 songs?
Well, well. So this album, we've been writing this album for years and years and years. So what has happened with each of the songs that have made it? They have also at some point sounded completely different in very different stages. I've joked before that we could have brought out an album on each song because we had that many versions of the song. We had like 10 versions of songs sometimes that could have been a whole album just by itself. Um, so it's because it's been like a life project for us almost. And we have other songs, but we really just really not perfected, but tried to get these 12 songs as close as we could for this project. 'Cause as I say, this has been like a life project for us, and it's so cool to see it finally come together.
It was when you play finally. You did many shows before this album, of course.
Hmm. Yeah.
But on this show, do you play some new tracks of this album? I mean, do you have working on live on these tracks before?
We played a lot of tracks live before. There's definitely a few that haven't kind of seen the light of day as much. For instance, Who We Are has rarely ever been played live, but it's been in our roster for quite a while. It's been that kind of, we didn't want to give away too much, but we wanted to show people the way we are progressing so that they can get a taste of the album to come. 'Cause there's a lot of amazing kind of underground fans that we have, that our biggest asset has been word of mouth, and these people are amazing for that.
It was so I see that finally for the recording of this album, there is a part of the album who was recording Glasgow,
Yes.
and you, the singer, you choose to go to New York
Yes.
to record your vocal parts. Why? Because it's beautiful New York. You like it, and
Exactly.
there's plenty of girls, beautiful US girls.
Exactly.
I'm sure.
No. so yeah, we bands recorded in Glasgow in Riverside, but we were in contact with a guy called Brian Sperber, and we felt like we wanted to record the vocals with him because of his experience in life, and it was a really good decision, I think, in the end. It was during COVID, so there was nothing exciting, sadly, about the trip. I wore a mask the entire time. I went to his house. I didn't leave the house, and then I just got back on the plane with my mask, But it was definitely life-changing in terms of what I learned, how recording vocals with a professional. So it was an amazing opportunity, and I'm very thankful for that.
Was it finally the first time you go to New York?
Yes, it was the first time I got to. So because it was lockdown and there was no one in Manhattan, for an hour one of the days we got in the car and we drove around Manhattan just so I could see some of the sights. And it was like a ghost town. We got through all of Manhattan in about 25 minutes, and I got to see it all, as we drove by. It was a very strange experience. I recite it to the movie I Am Legend, if anyone's ever seen that.
Yes, I think about also of this movie when we are in Paris and there are nobodies in Paris. It was so crazy to see Paris with no people, no
Yeah.
cars, nothing.
It's truly strange.
What do you finally? How was your recording in the vocals? Do you work a lot? Do you have some challenge in your for the first album as a singer, as the vocals to work in New York in the studio?
Yes. Yes, because as I said earlier in the interview, we're just like five normal guys, and that's really true. I'm just a normal guy that opens his mouth and sound comes out, and what I had to learn how to adapt that a lot in this album process, and really had to educate myself through Brian's help, which was really, really amazing. So that's what I say when it's life-changing advice that I got, because I really had to hone in my singing to get to the quality that he needed. And I got there, but it wasn't easy. I will say it wasn't easy, but I'm so happy that I was pushed like that. That's what you need. You need someone to push you.
Do you learn a lot of things in this experience to go to New York to work with Brian Sperber in USA in a studio in New York? Do you learn a lot of things?
Oh yeah. So what I personally learned that if I don't sing right, my voice can sound quite high and tinny and not very bass-like. So I had to really find like my right jaw position. I had to be singing a lot lower and stuff like that to try and get more of the bottom end of my voice out, for instance. Lots of things like this that I hadn't really considered. As I say, up until this point, I just kind of went with passion, sang like how I felt and how I wanted it to come out, and I never thought about the other side of it. It's truly fascinating, and I'm researching a lot about it now.
Do you do you work also in the recording? I mean, do you have been in studio in Glasgow where the rest of the band record the musical parts?
Yes, I was there. I was there because I wanted to be there, and also we had like because of the Kickstarter, we had certain kind of tiers where people could, donate money to get the album and come visit us in the studio. So we were always there, just hanging out, having fun. It was a really fun experience, actually. Yeah, it was nice being with the guys and watching them do what they do, and I'm fortunate to have a very tight professional bands behind me. They're truly amazing.
Yeah, you work also for the mixing. You work with Chris Sheldon, who is very well known because he works with so many great bands. I can
Yeah.
say one of the big men was a Foo Fighter, but
Yes.
there you see Biffy Clyro. So what do you want from him, and why do you choose finally to how you get the opportunity finally to work with him for the mixing of the album?
Yeah, well, to be honest, we didn't see Chris Sheldon. We didn't see that happen. We knew of Chris Sheldon. We knew of his extensive work and how incredible he is. And in this, props go to our management that they were able to contact him and get him on board. And the moment that was an option, we jumped on that immediately because as we all know, he's an incredible man at what he does, and I feel like he's really put his own touch onto the album, onto the finished product, and I'm so thankful that he's a part of it. And I can't wait to hopefully in the future work with him again. Incredible.
Do you have when you came in studio, when you just arrived in studio, do you have a sound in your head about this album? What kind of song you want? Uh, the sound is very important for the band. Is the essence of the band, something like that.
Yeah.
What was your idea?
So we are very meticulous. We're a very meticulous band. So before going in to record the album, we recorded the album in our own kind of homes probably twice by that point. So we actually had a very clear idea of what we were going in to do, because time is money, and we didn't have the luxury, that some other bands might have of being able to, work rehearse for a week in the studio. So the producer, Duncan really did challenge us on some tones and stuff like that, and James, found some beautiful guitar tones in this album that are just absolutely lovely, including the drums and the bass as well. Yeah, it was a very very thought out process, and I would encourage any other small bands that are working out, do your pre-production and get it sorted so that you can walk in there with a bit less stress, if you get me.
It was so we have finally there are third single who's come out. The last one is DNA. So what is your DNA?
Well, well, we brought this song out. So this song is our attempt at trying to show the world just how much we love what we do. I was thinking about music. What does music mean to me? And it goes down to kind of like the very fabric of me. I don't really know what else I would be doing in life if I wasn't in this path. And I'm sure the other guys would agree with that as well. It almost feels like we were made for this. We might not make it, but we were made to try anyway. And it was just like, yeah, this is like our DNA. And then I went with that, and I thought, and the music that James and the guys had produced for the song was just, it fitted the feeling, because it was very powerful and very kind of quick and very, here we are, we love what we're doing. And the song just kind of went like that, and it was actually kind of quite a quick process, and I'm very proud of it. I feel like it shows just how much we love what we do.
It was so finally you did a clip for Diana. It was how was the captation? I read that it was a little crazy for the band and for you
Yes.
to do this captation, to film this little clip.
Yeah, we were doing the video for it, and we had to wear contact lenses because, like, if you watch the video, I have these very white eyes, and
Yes.
that was the contact lenses. I've never used them before in my life. neither had most of the guys hadn't used it either. So yeah, there's a clip on our YouTube of us of people trying to get contact lenses into our eyes. It took about 20 minutes. There was a lot of tears and a lot of pain, but thank God I got it on, at least, because the other guys didn't really work, to be honest, but mine's worked very well and everyone was happy with the results. So it was worth the pain. It was sore.
Finally, you like to do a clip. You like to do video.
Oh yeah, we love it, especially in these times, where we can't do shows and stuff. Just we're trying to adopt the YouTuber that kind of methods where you try and bring out as much kind of cool videos as we can in different ranges, from funny videos to nice covers to our own songs. It's just a full range for everyone. We love it.
Alors, there is also I think it was the second single or the first single, Against the Wall. It's the title of the album too. What do you mean? You are the writer, so what do you mean when you say Against the Wall? I know a song of Saxon is Back to the Wall. So you are against the wall. What is the idea behind this song, finally?
The idea was we felt like the phrase being up against the wall really summed up the last kind of 5 years of our musical career, due to lots of different factors. There was some kind of dark points there where we didn't really know what to do. But time is the best medicine, and as you slowly start to figure out your problems and get over that and overcome that, started to see that this really nice positive message coming through, and I felt like it's something that the whole world can relate to as well in their own way. It's quite an interpretive thing, There's lots of scenarios where you can feel like you are against the wall. You don't know what to do at that moment in time, but you get there, you figure it out, you overcome that. And the album, under that message, sort of just kind of wrote itself, because it has been very true to our lives in the last 5 years. And then when COVID came in, the meaning becomes almost universal in a way. It's just like, what is there a time in recent history where the whole world is almost against the wall, and this is our time now. This is our time to slowly start to figure out how to move on from this pandemic and how to move on positively and for the better. And I feel like it's just an amazing coincidence, but it's truly amazing the support that this album's shown over, because of how hard the journey has been. And me and guys cannot be more happier and more humbled by everyone's reaction. It's truly amazing.
You told me about the pandemic. What was finally the impact of the pandemic on this album? Is there an impact? And as a writer, do you have the envy to write about that, or to speak about a little about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the pandemic has definitely impacted us and everyone else drastically. First off, it put off the album. It was meant to come out in 2020, but we naively thought this would be over quite quickly, so we thought put it out 2021. When we realised that wasn't going to happen, we were stuck with our guns and thought, no, we're going with this album release. And it's scary and positive in both ways. We're doing a full online campaign. We're not doing any live shows around it, which is a first for us. We never thought we'd do that. It is what you make of it, and that's what we're doing. We're just trying to make the best out of it, and everyone's jumping on board so far. And the positivity that I see, especially on social media about it, is just, as I say, it's humbling. So yeah, as bad as COVID can be, and my heart is out to anyone that's suffering it, and honestly, it really is. We're just trying to get on with life in a way, and we're waiting for the world to open back up and we're ready to go. Like, just so everyone knows, we're ready to go. The moment the world deems it's okay for us to do a show, we are there, and we can't wait for it.
The album is coming out 5 of March of this year, of course. But do you hesitate for the date of the coming out album? Do you reflect? Do you think about that?
Yeah, it's actually getting quite scary. It's not maybe scary isn't the right word, but this has been such a long journey that I cannot believe it's nearly over. Like I can't believe it. It's been so long since we've always said to ourselves, you know, we've got our album coming out. It never did, and now it is, and it comes out in so short, and I can't wait. Do you know? I almost can't wait to start writing the next album because it's been such a long. We've had the songs now for a while. I've already been writing some new stuff. James has been writing some new stuff for album 2. The other guys are getting more involved. We're all looking forward to it. So I guess now we just can't wait to get it out, get it promoted, and then start writing number 2, and finally like a fresh start.
It was there is also a single. It's called "Find My Way." So, do you find it your way? The song. Do you find your way finally?
Not yet. I'm getting
way?
close. I'm getting close. Yeah. Yeah. Like it's just it's about the insecurities of life and taking such a monumental challenge of trying to make it in a field like the music industry. You know, it's an impossibly difficult task. We know this. There's no need to think otherwise. But you know, what comes with that is a lot of insecurity and stuff, and that really feels like some of the writing. I feel like we can really relate to that because everyone has their own personal insecurities. But again, it's all about overcoming that. So that's why Find My Way was wrote, and it's been a scary fun journey. But as I say, we're slowly starting to see it come together, and you know, I don't want to jinx anything, but I hope this is the start of a long journey that we can be proud of. I'm already so proud of what I've done in my life. So anything more than this is a blessing.
On this album, there are 11 songs. What is the song finally you feel very near in the writing, in the text, with very more emotional? I don't know, where you put a lot of your soul in the song. Perhaps there are many songs. I don't know.
Yeah, if I had to choose one, it would always be "Where I Belong." That's the song that was basically just my life song. You know, that was my song that just I summed up my life. A very dark time for myself when I was about 18. Just not knowing what to do or where to turn to, or like basically having no one, and just going, what do I do? Where do I belong? And it's the funniest thing is that song wrote in one of like my darkest times. Over the years, has gave me some of the happiest moments in my life. It's a song that was adopted by audiences around everywhere. Honestly, like most shows we go to, when I start singing this song, the audience overtake me, and half the time there's no point in me singing this song. And that alone is just such an irony that I didn't see coming, and it puts a smile on my face anytime I think about it. It's amazing. It's amazing. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's finally it's very important for you, this album.
Yes.
Of course, it's the first one. So I read about this band, Mason Hill. Finally, everything begin. You are very young, 14. I read somewhere that you meet James. You are in school at 14.
Yes.
Is it like this that everything begin?
It was, yeah. I mean, James moved up from England to Scotland, and that's where I was. I was living my life. We met in a music class, and James was very gifted at guitar at a young age, and I wasn't. I hadn't really started my musical ambition yet. I had just been playing a bit of keyboards and a bit of guitar. And we just kind of gelled, I guess. We liked the same stuff. You know, we were into rock music, and where we came from, that was a minority. It was more rap and, you know, that kind of all the cool stuff. So that was I was kind of sorted there. And then we eventually started being in a band. Like, I was a guitar player. then eventually James heard me sing one day, and he was like, "It wasn't too bad. Why don't you try that again?" And we slowly I became the singer, and I left guitar, and it writes itself. You know, we were just friends. I don't think we really intended for this to happen.
It was you did an EP before.
Yes.
I see four tracks. What are the how could you what are the main difference between the EP and this album? Is there a big evolution between the two, the EP and the new album?
Yeah, the difference is substantial. We recorded that EP maybe 2016, 2017. We were just young broke. We were just a young broke band, and the producer that we worked with, Sandy Jones, was just a lovely, lovely person who just cut us a deal to try and just get it done for us, and he done some incredible work. But we were young, especially me. I was young, and I didn't treat it the way it should have been treated. I didn't perform it like now that I know I could have, you know, like with hindsight. But the EP is still amazing in itself because it's raw and natural. Like this is just us. Like it was just me getting up in front of a mic and singing and having fun. Working my first time with a producer ever who'd had like old records on the wall. It was Craig. Craig was just loving it being in a band. He was young. He was a death metal head at the time. You know, just going crazy on the drums. It was a really cool experience of like a bunch of guys, like a bunch of kind of almost just like young 20s, just having fun. Now we're older. Now we're a professional band. You know, we treat everything to the highest degree of perfection. So now, you know, it is a lot different, it's a lot better, it's a lot more thought about. But you know, we're still just five guys that are doing it at the same time. So not, you know, you're not going to change too much, but the quality has definitely improved.
As a singer, finally, who are your idols? I suppose you have a lot of idols, but who gives you finally the envy to sing in a band and play rock music and with your in a way your life, you know, as a singer?
So I have three based on three different reasons. So like for looking at a singer on stage and wanting to, you know, replicate what they do, it was Myles Kennedy growing up for me, who was absolutely incredible, and that's who I wanted to be. So when I started getting more into singing, my musical range kind of opened up, and I found Pink Floyd, and I found Dave Gilmour and Roger Waters, and I took so much songwriting inspiration for them. I love the way they can paint pictures and music, and it's truly incredible. And then a few years ago, I was getting to the point where I was like, I want to be able to try and diversify my singing. And I looked out to the pop world, and I was like, there needs to be someone that I can relate with that's you know, got a similar-esque voice. And I found 1980s Phil Collins, and I never thought I would have found that, but some of his songs back in the day and his vocal patterns and his extremely rough kind of rock voice, I've taken a lot of influence from. So I really kind of expand around and try and create the best of everyone. I try to do that. It's just the way my mind works, but I don't know.
And what about Bon Scott? I see that you played for the Bonfest 2 years ago. It was in May. What did he represent for you, Bon Scott?
Yeah, that was cool. So yeah, like as a Scottish person, you know, you grow up with, you know, AC/DC were half Scottish. It's a pride. It's a symbol of Scotland. It might be argued, but we don't care. And whoops, something like that. Sorry.
Hello.
But no, yeah, Bon Scott is like an absolutely, what a legends, like AC/DC legends, even Brian Johnson legends. I love AC/DC. I seen AC/DC when I was 12 in Hampton, and it was an amazing experience that I'll never forget. Being there, getting to be a part of some of the best kind of tribute bands in the country as well. Such a cool experience. So many AC/DC fans. I got to, you know, I'm an AC/DC fan as well, so it was nice being around like-minded people. I'd be honoured to do that again.
So just to finish the last question, what if you must describe musically the band, who people who know only the name of the band, what
Yeah.
will you say?
So I would say that we started off as a classic rock band. Our writing style changed into more of a modern rock band, and I feel like we have now found our kind of blend in the middle. So I would say we are a modern classic band, where from each song it will change. Some songs may be a bit more modern, but we're always going to satisfy the classic rock part of ourselves as well, because we love that as well. We just felt, we didn't even mean to. Our writing, your writing style just develops by the music that you listen to, and it's a beautiful thing. And we're just going to try and sort of create a full-on rock genre. We want to try and capture all the sides of it and put it into one package that everyone can love, and they can have their favorite style songs, and then have their rocky songs or ballad songs, or just try and be experimentative and fun.
So really, Scott, thank you very much for the interview, and thank you
Thank
for
you.
the album. It was really a great surprise and good surprise
Oh, I'm so
in
happy.
this year, for the beginning of this year. And I
Yeah,
hope to see you in Paris one day.
I would love that. Thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor. Thank you.